So it's been a few days since Awoken Gilliam was released. Now, since the publishing of this video, there's only 2 days left in his trial, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the chance to talk about the trial itself, what you can find in it, how to beat it, and when you do beat it, it's a full clear. Now, if you're wondering about Gilliam himself and how to use him, and even if he's worth it, I'm gonna go ahead and make an entirely separate video for that. You can check it out right over there. So when you first load into the trial, you're going to be facing Marika alongside 4 of her machines on the first stage. These machines don't take any art damage, instead you have to damage them with your skills and your equipment. They also have a human killer, as you can probably see. Gilliam is dead. Very much dead. They also have the ability to blind your team every few seconds. Marika is pretty much useless as fight. She has 2 thresholds, and those 2 thresholds she becomes immune to damage, damages you slightly, and then lowers your attack. She also does the same exact thing during her art, except she's not immune to damage when she's arting. On the second stage, you're going to end up facing Gilliam, who, unlike Marika, you can actually damage with crit, but just like her, he has 2 HP thresholds. In both those thresholds, he will cast his true art, where he becomes completely immune to damage during the animation, and then he tries to nuke you. But he is Gilliam, so you don't have to worry about the damage. While his damage is really nothing to worry about, if you clear him too fast and hit that second threshold a little too quick, he might just be able to kill your team. That being said, let's get into how we can beat the trial. There are 2 effective strats that you can use to clear the trial, the first one being making sure you don't have any humans, you have enough art gen to spam art, you have a cleanse for the blind, and some time on your hands. To meet all the requirements for that first strat, I went ahead and used Rimnu for art generation, Sestine for art generation, Sonya for art generation, and then I used Fina for cleansing the blind as well as healing. With that comp, it took a few years to clear the trial, but it did manage to get me Gilliam Awoken. If you want to clear under 2 minutes, you're going to have to use endgame units such as Juno, Vox, and Sylphiet. For the 4th unit, all you'll need is a damage amplifier, so someone that can lower the enemy resistances or increase your team's damage. If you just can't use the first strat to clear it under 2 minutes, you might have to rely on my second strat, which is to just nuke the machines on the first stage. Even if you have humans in your team, that will work perfectly fine. As I mentioned earlier, the human killers on the trial are the machines. Clearing them right away will solve all your problems, and your human units will be able to clear the trial. Just to show you that humans can clear the trial, I'll go ahead and start it and let you watch it from beginning to end, and you'll see the entire fight. And to explain how I managed to clear this in 2 minutes, what I did is that with Commander Forte's and Dark Fence ability to give 50 art gauge each at the beginning of the fight, I also used the Type O to make sure that I had maxed out art gauge so that I could shoot art with Commander Forte, giving me enough damage so that my equipment with Shuri would end up being able to kill all the machines. Once they were out or completely gone, my units, which are humans, didn't really have much of a threat to face, and they managed to completely and safely clear the trial. If you're using Shuri just like me, you have to make sure that you utilize her true art during the enemy's damage immunity because it has a long wind up time. When you do cast it, after a few seconds, you'll do damage to the enemy, so you have to try and time it for when they exit their damage immunity state, and that will help you clear the trial under 2 minutes. Otherwise, you might end up doing it a little over 2 minutes. Going into the second stage, your only worry should be that you might just clear it too fast and you could get nuked to death. 1 threshold isn't going to do enough damage to kill you, but doing 2 thresholds one after another could kill you if you don't have sufficient healing or you don't have shielding. Lastly, Gilliam has a damage stacking buff that ramps up throughout the fight. It's pretty useless. He's not going to kill you. It's just there to mess with low level units, I guess. The purpose of the trial isn't really to make it unbeatable, but to make it hard to beat under 2 minutes. I mean, both bosses in both stages have 2 HP thresholds that give them immunity for about 5 seconds, I think, on average. And then the first stage, you have your attack lowered for only 1 minute though. So clearly, with the blind also, it's just meant to make it hard for you to do it under 2 minutes. It's no secret that the video is pretty close to coming to an end. I've already given you all the information that you probably need to beat the trial. Now, before you exit out, close the browser, go play with your dog, or whip out the good old Dino action figures, I am going to ask that if you found the video itself useful, the information that I shared useful, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're wondering if I'm going to make more videos in the future, I probably am going to, especially if this video paired up with the Gilliam video that I'm going to post separately end up reaching 100 likes. I'll go ahead and keep making content. So subscribe if you want to see it. And if you didn't like it, you think it sucked, you hated it, but you bared through it, and you want to let me know that it sucked, there's no dislike button. So instead, you're probably going to have to leave a comment and let me know on ways I could improve. I'm new to this, so by all means, I'll take in all criticism that you guys have to give. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.